Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie and today I'll be discussing corporate and leisure travel to Mozambique. The frequently asked questions that we receive about Mozambique is normally what can you see and do at Mozambique? What safari options are there available? What activities are available? How do you get to Mozambique? The recommended length of a trip, looking at safety, cost of living and political situation, visas, health and best time of year to visit. So the big question, why visit Mozambique? Basically because there is something for everyone, be it beach, bush, art, culture and dance, world-renowned corporate facilities and add-on possibilities for both pre and post-conferencing, as well as having a UNESCO World Heritage Site, not to mention the great food, friendly people and fantastic weather. So looking at what you can see and do in Mozambique. I would like to briefly run through this map to highlight some of the main destinations that we tend to include in our itineraries for both leisure and corporate clients. So I'm going to start with Maputo, which is a capital city and where probably most of your clients will arrive and depart from due to the great air access as well as the Rosan Garcia Lebombo border post. It's a vibrant cosmopolitan city, and we normally recommend about 1 to 2 full days, as there's also various activities to complement this visit. And we also do quite a few of our day trips running from Maputo. So looking as well, Maputo is also great for larger conferencing groups, as there are a good number of recognized hotels and facilities for this, and capacity issues for larger groups are not such a challenge here as they would be at a beach resort or similar. So moving on from the capital to the beaches. As you can see, we've got quite a lot of coastline, about 2,500 kilometers of coastline to be exact. And for clients looking for a beach getaway close to Maputo or within about 1 to 2 hours, either via boat or road transfer, there are several options. So looking at the southernmost tip of Mozambique, where it meets South Africa via the Kosi border bay, we've got Ponta Douro, Ponta Malongan, and Ponta Mamoli, which offer great beach activities such as diving and swimming with dolphins. Santa Maria Peninsula, which you'll see here mentions Mashangulu, is also great for fishing and diving and snorkeling. Not to mention a host of other activities, of course, but just highlighting some of the main ones. Then we've also got Inhaca and Portuguese Island, which we do a day trip to. And it's a great escape from Maputo, and basically starts off at Santa Maria, where clients can do some snorkeling, and then going off to Inhaca, where they have a lovely seafood lunch, and then finishing off with a short stop to Portuguese Island, where clients have the option to get out and have a quick swim before returning back to Maputo. So moving further north, we usually take clients to Inhamban, more specifically Tofu or Barra Beach. And this is about a 7-hour drive or short domestic flight option from Maputo. We normally do this as a one-way transfer, but we can also overnight at Bilen or Xaixai. As you'll see highlighted here, we've got Xaixai. So Bilen is also just before Xaixai, and both quite nice options for an overnight for those who don't want to do the whole journey in one go. So Tofu is known for its world-famous diving and swimming with whale sharks, but it also has a lovely local market and friendly people. It's actually known as Terra de Boa Gente, which means land of the good people, as said by Vasco da Gama. And I'm testament to that. The people are really friendly and our clients really enjoy their time in Tofu. Then about 4 hours away from Tofu by road transfer is Vilanculos. And flights are also available between Tofu and Vilanculos for those who don't want to do a road transfer. Vilanculos is the gateway to the Bazaruto archipelago, which you'll see here on the right. And it's made up of 5 stunning islands, and you'll probably be most familiar with Bazaruto Island and Benguera Island, which have your luxury properties. But should your clients not have the budget for these luxury properties, there are various options on mainland Vilanculos, and they can still visit the islands and go snorkeling or diving by 2 Mile Reef by going on a dhow trip. So this in itself is a great experience. And so basically there's something for everyone, because not everyone obviously can afford staying on the islands. So they can still very much stay in mainland and then just hop on a dhow trip or on a speedboat and off to the island for a day. So about an hour away as well, you'll see there's Santa Carolina, also known as Paradise Island, as it's just that. It's an absolute paradise. Here, clients can spend a day snorkeling and exploring the gorgeous island. And normally day trips include a seafood lunch by the beach. So there's no accommodation on Santa Carolina, but perfect for a day trip. So now leaping much further north, we come to Nampula province, which takes you to our little gem, our UNESCO World Heritage Site of Ilha de Mozambique. So Ilha de Mozambique was the original capital of Mozambique, and it was used as a major base for the Arab traders. It is only 3 kilometers long and 600 meters wide, and it's connected by a concrete bridge to mainland. It's well known for its amazing culture and history, and it can transport you back in time. It's an absolute gem for people who are after a rich cultural experience. And you can get to Nampula via a domestic and or regional flight, and then it's about a 2 to 2.5 hour drive to the island from Nampula city. Another island that's similar to Ilha de Mozambique for its significant cultural impact is Ibu Island, which is located in the Carimbas archipelago, so further north by Cabo Delgado province. So the Carimbas archipelago, which you also see here mentioned on your right, is a string of tiny islands which is located off the coast of Cabo Delgado in the northernmost province of Mozambique. And it's composed of Kilauea, Majumbi, Ibu, and Vamizi Island. And all of these islands have gorgeous, exclusive luxury properties for clients to visit, but Ibu Island does offer some mid-range options as well. To get to these islands, clients can fly into Pemba via domestic and or regional flights, and then it's an onward charter or helicopter flight to the islands. So this gives you a brief summary from south to north of all the beach options available to clients, but there are plenty more options along this route and all offering different activities for clients. And of course, apart from the beach, we have the great food. You can't visit Mozambique without trying our seafood and local dishes such as prawn curry or chicken zambiziana, not to mention our tiputinto, which is a drink that is a favorite among South Africans, and our dance, art, and culture, as well as our safari options, which I'll tell you about shortly. So let's look at what safari options there are available in Mozambique. So starting with southern Mozambique, we've got the Maputo Special Reserve, otherwise known as the Maputo Elephant Reserve. This is a good option for people who have already been on safaris in Kruger or similar parks and have seen the Big Five and all of that and are now looking for something different. And it's possibly more for those who are nature lovers, as the scenery is amazing and it's just very peaceful. So it doesn't have any cats and it's known for its elephants, so it's definitely a different experience. It's a good option for a day trip from Maputo as it's very close now that we have the Maputo Katembe Bridge, or even for a 1 night or 2 night camping trip. So we work with a reliable subcontractor who provides a full catered experience for both a 1 day or overnight option. And it's just a lovely general overall experience for someone who just wants to get away from the city if they've been in Maputo for a while, or who wants to do a safari and is looking for something a little bit different. If it's for someone who has never been on safari, I don't want to use the word disappointed, but it will be a different experience. Just because I think in the fact that there are no cats and it is quite remote. So sightings are sometimes a little bit difficult. But for those who love nature, fantastic, and also great for birders. Then we've also got the Sabi Game Park, which is actually the only Big Five option at the moment in Mozambique. And it's located relatively close to Mozambique, to Maputo. So it's easy to reach via road transfer from Maputo. It borders the Kruger National Park, hence why it's the only Big Five option, as animals can roam freely between Mozambique and South Africa. And we also assist with safaris in Southern Kruger Park as well as Isotini. So it's ideal for those who are looking to combine destinations for their safari experience. Going further up to Central Moz, this is where we have Africa's Lost Eden, according to National Geographic, and it's where we have Gorongosa National Park. So this, in my opinion, is a must for those looking for safari experience in Mozambique. It's just very unique scenery, and clients can get everything from the savannah to forest to gorgeous rock formations and waterfalls. We would recommend at least 3 full days here, especially due to the travel logistics involved in getting there, as it requires a domestic and a regional flight to Beira, and then a plus minus 4 hour road transfer to Gorongosa Park. Bear in mind that clients also may have to overnight in Beira pre or post their park visit due to flight times, as the park has strict opening and closing times. So in Mozambique, we've got a wide range of activities, and you'll find everything from fishing to diving and snorkeling, swimming with dolphins and whale sharks, birding, canoeing or kayaking, ocean safaris or dhow trips, as well as kite surfing, horse riding, numerous different water sports, because we've got a whole lot of beach, art and cultural tours, and hiking. So sometimes we get asked about hiking trips, and although it's possible and we would love to put this together more often, it's sometimes difficult to reach some of these areas. So in some cases, it may not be value for money, but we will always do our best to guide you in the right direction. So looking at corporate travel, we can assist for all your corporate needs, such as meetings, incentives, conferences, and events. We can arrange for transfers, accommodation, conferencing venue, equipment, step-on guides, different meal options, room drop ideas, pre and post conference activities and trips, and a whole bunch of other services. In the last 2 years or so, Mozambique was fast becoming an even more popular option for MICE travel, thanks to a greater ease of access, and there are currently 7 airlines flying to Mozambique, which offer greater connection opportunities for MICE organizers and delegates, and we hope this trend continues post-COVID. In the past year, we hosted the Aortic International Conference on Cancer in Africa with about 900 to 1,000 delegates. And in 2018, we had 1,000 delegates with the Jehovah's Witnesses Conference, amongst other smaller events. Both of these were in Maputo due to capacity issues, as Maputo is the only destination in Mozambique that can cater to about plus 40 rooms, and that has a conference venue for larger groups. But for smaller groups, we can definitely assist by a beach resort or similar. Mozambique is also home to renowned resorts and hotels, which pride themselves in staying abreast of the latest developments. This makes it an ideal MICE destination because you have the conference facilities with all the technology we require, but in a vacation setting, which brings us to yet another trend in the MICE industry. So for those attending conferences in Mozambique, should consider adding pre and post trips to their itinerary. And we can tailor make some options to best suit these delegates. So looking at leisure travel, in the past, Mozambique was sold primarily as an add-on destination. For example, combining South Africa, Eswatini, or Zimbabwe with Mozambique. But now more and more we see a trend where people want to visit Mozambique as a standalone destination. So we specialize in tailor-made itineraries for FITs or group travel and can also arrange anything from weddings to honeymoons to bachelor and bachelorette parties, church groups, special interest groups such as for diving or fishing or birding, and volunteer programs. With regards to volunteer programs, we actually work with various entities and charities that welcome volunteers. For example, in Maputo, we work with the Ingrid Schauner Youth Center, which is an institution that works with children, mainly boys of various age groups, which range from about 18 to 18 years old. And it's a center that rehabilitates young street kids, provides them with an education, and strives to integrate them back into society. So it requires various supplies in order to help these children. So these volunteers will normally spend time at the center and help in any way needed, be it painting a room, fixing up walls, or mending broken things around the center, or even just playing some soccer or basketball with the kids. And then the center only asks for a donation, which goes towards items they need, such as clothes or school material, toys, sheets and blankets, or anything else needed at the time. So the list is continuously changing according to their needs. And this in turn can also contribute to a client's corporate social responsibility. So we find that many groups, especially actually corporate groups that come in, I know I'm talking about leisure travel, but lots of corporate groups that come in as well, normally are looking for some sort of corporate social responsibility, and these institutions are a good way to go about that. So looking at ways of getting to Mozambique, as I mentioned earlier, majority of your clients will most likely arrive and depart from Maputo. And this is due to the increased air access, which I'll highlight in the next slides, but also due to the most popular boarding crossing, being the San Garcia Lebombo border post. So we get a lot of self-drives and transfers coming via this border, especially as we're about 1.5 to 2 hours away from the Kruger National Park. That's how close Maputo is, give or take, due to the border crossing to South Africa and Kruger Park. Then other commonly used border posts for South Africans would be the Kruger National Park and Giriondo border post. This was popular for those doing self-drive and wanting to do safari in Kruger and then ending at the beach in Mozambique. But unfortunately, since Mashopan camp closed, as this was located close to Giriondo border and is the camp that we often used for an overnight or even 2-night stay, it is not a very long day of driving until clients reach the beach, which normally means stopping at Chashai or Bilen for an overnight before continuing to Inhaban or Vilanculos. So we don't really recommend this route anymore due to the conditions of the road and the journey time, but it's okay if your clients are really adventurous. As it's a nice package because it does allow them the chance, if they start in South Africa, to then go through Kruger Park and then straight to Mozambique to the beach. But definitely they have to be aware that it's a long day of driving. Then we've also got the Causey Bay and Ponta d'Oro border post. This, I believe, is something we can look at exploring, as the Maputo-Katim Bridge, which connects Maputo with Katim and is the largest suspension bridge in Africa, reduces traveling time from Causey Bay to Maputo from 6 hours to 90 minutes. Yep, you heard me correctly. So this is a huge difference and one that I think allows us to capitalize on by creating packages linking the two destinations. So there's a big opportunity to look at getting more business from KZN and vice versa once our borders open up again. The bridge is also actually expected to improve the East 3 route program, which is an initiative between KwaZulu-Natal, Mpumalanga, Mozambique, Eswatini, and the Seychelles in order to boost tourism. So basically, lots of opportunity here for new itineraries between countries. So looking at our air access, we have flights from Johannesburg into Mozambique. So not only Maputo, but also into Beira, Nampula, Tet, and Pemba with SA Airlink and LIM, which is our national carrier. Into Maputo, we have SAA and LIM flying from Johannesburg, as well as 5 international options, being TAP, Turkish Airlines, Ethiopian, Kenyan Airways, and Qatar, as well as our national carrier LIM, which flies from Lisbon. Please note that these are all pre-COVID schedules, so they are subject to change. So then just looking at domestic flights within Mozambique, we've got Ethiopian Airlines, which started operations in 2018, and they've got several flights per day to the various cities within Mozambique. We've also got our national carrier LIM, which also services the whole country. And yes, you may have heard that we've had issues in the past with LIM due to delays or cancellations, but I must say that they have improved quite significantly in the last couple of years as well. So that's a bonus. Recommended length of a trip. Because Mozambique is such a large destination, we would suggest that clients stick to either the south of Mozambique or then the north of Mozambique, and that they normally have about 8 to 10 days for this. So either 8 to 10 days in the south or 8 to 10 days in the north of Mozambique. If, however, they want to explore both the south and north of Mozambique in one go or in one trip, then we would suggest about 12 plus days for this. Just because travel logistics can be a nightmare, as in what flight options are available, the length of transfers. So it does require a slightly longer itinerary. We can also tailor make an itinerary for shorter visit. It all just depends on the client's interests. We'll also be looking at what you need to know before you go. So things such as safety, visas, health, weather, travel insurance, and currency. So looking at safety. So is it safe to travel to Mozambique? In the short answer is absolutely yes. And you need to take precautions as you would traveling to any other country for work or pleasure. So just some advice with regards to what not to do in terms of safety would be buying any semi-precious or precious stones on Ilha de Mozambique or anywhere else in Mozambique really, unless clients purchase these in a shop and keep the receipt as proof. As we've had a negative experience last year with some clients who bought semi-precious stones from Ilha, and unfortunately they had troubles with the police on departure. So just keep this in mind. Then cost of living, it is relatively cheap, so clients will find value for money in terms of food, souvenirs, activities, and although we acknowledge that Mozambique in general is not a cheap destination, primarily for accommodation and transport, on the plus side, we have unspoiled beaches and scenery, which is a bonus. So basically, lots of untouched, unspoiled beach and scenery. And also just to brief on tipping, it's not compulsory, but recommended if clients are happy with the service. And we generally recommend about $10 per couple for guides, as well as about 7 to 10% for restaurants. With regards to the political situation, this is a question we are often asked by trade partners. And being on the ground, we're able to offer real-time advice. So yes, there has been some political tensions in the past, primarily further north of Mozambique, but we always check with the suppliers in question as they can provide accurate feedback on what is going on in the area and will be the first to cancel or not recommend an itinerary should it not be safe to do so. We are basically your eyes and ears on the ground in Mozambique, and you can rest assured your clients are in good hands with us. So looking at visas and if you can get a visa on arrival, most SADC nationals, including South Africans, do not require a visa for up to 30 days if coming for tourism. But if coming for business, then a business visa is normally required. If coming for a conference, we normally ask that the Mozambique entity participating in the conference assists with the visa question. And most delegates do arrive on a tourist visa, but this would need to be cleared up with immigration prior to arrival. And then with regards to other non-SADC nationals, currently you may purchase a dual entry tourist visa, so only tourist visa, at most Mozambique entry points, subject to immigration terms and conditions and independently of having a Mozambique High Commission in your country or not. So basically all nationals can apply for a visa on arrival. The cost is approximately $50 per person, and you need to carry proof of accommodation signed by the establishment and an onward air ticket. If you're visiting friends or family, a term of responsibility is needed, which is written by the host in Mozambique. And guests who prefer to get the visa in advance to avoid standing in line may purchase the visas in their home countries at a higher rate normally. But please note that we take no responsibility for incorrect visa information, which can be changed at any time. And it is a traveler's responsibility to confirm updated visa information with their local High Commission or embassy. So looking at health and whether yellow fever vaccinations or malaria medication is required, Mozambique is a malaria area, and it is recommended that you check requirements with your healthcare provider before traveling to see what is best for you. All those traveling from or in transit from a yellow fever destination should also have a yellow fever certificate. And we also encourage clients to always check the World Health Organization's website for the latest health alerts. So looking at the weather and when is the best time of year to visit. So Mozambique has a tropical climate and the weather is generally good all year round. So that's a bonus. The hottest season is usually late October to early March, which also happens to be the rainy season. February is usually a typically cyclone season, so I would avoid this month if clients are coming for the purpose of going to the beach. April to September are cooler months, and in my opinion, the best time to travel. So looking at travel insurance and currency, with regards to insurance, we strongly recommend passengers traveling with us to take out comprehensive travel insurance that covers cancellation and curtailment of trip, illness, baggage loss, and default. With regards to our currency, we use the meticais, which is currently 4 meticais to 1 rand, but dollars, euros, and rand are widely used and accepted throughout Mozambique, including at restaurants, to tip, buy souvenirs, and a bunch of other services. So this is a picture of our lovely team. We are made up of 21 people, of which 7 are drivers and 6 are consultants. We all know Mozambique, as we are all Mozambicans, with the exception of our director, Natalie Tenzer Silva, but she is Mozambican at heart. We have been in operation since 2002, so going on 18 years strong, selling this beautiful country. So let's look at what Dana Tours can do for you. We are basically a one-stop shop for Mozambique. We have everything from countrywide accommodation for both corporate and leisure clients. We assist with step-on guides and transport coordinators who are bilingual, so English and Portuguese speaking only. We take care of local payments. We tailor and make itineraries based on clients' interests and budgets. We handle port excursions for cruise liners. We do team building, such as the Amazing Race, which is a fun race in downtown Maputo, and which we can do either on foot or in tuk-tuks, depending on the group size. And it's just so much fun. And we also handle conferencing requirements, group travel, pre-booked meals at a variety of Maputo's top restaurants, and special client requests. And most importantly, we are based in Mozambique and we speak the language. So we also provide personalized meet and greet services in Maputo Airport, private transfers to and from Mozambique and neighboring Kruger Park and Satini, as well as chauffeur drive. And we've got our own fleet of vehicles of about 8 vehicles, of which 2 are minibuses and the rest are SUVs and people carriers, so 2 carnivals. And we also do subcontract vehicles, so up to 22-seater coaches and even bigger coaches if required. We also carry passenger liability cover of up to $2 million, which is cover for our own vehicles as well as our subcontracted vehicles. And we follow a strict health, safety, security, and environment management plan that has helped us improve the safety of both our clients and employees. Through this HSSC plan, our whole team and especially our drivers participate in various courses and trainings, such as first aid, defensive driving, firefighting, life-saving rules, fatigue management training, induction training, and our drivers also undergo medical fitness tests. And just looking at this pandemic, we have actually implemented stringent rules to try and safeguard our customers and drivers. And these include the exterior and interior of vehicles being cleaned with disinfectant before and after every transfer. Hand sanitizer is provided in the vehicle for both our drivers and the clients. Physical contact such as handshakes is discouraged. We request that physically able clients personally handle their luggage in and out of the vehicle, and passengers sit in the back seat. Drivers wear masks and gloves, and drivers follow strict guidelines about opening and closing doors. As you can also see, we're members of Avitu, which is Mozambique's travel agent and tour operator association, as well as being members of SATSA, and we take great pride in being able to follow their guidelines. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation. And should you have any questions or doubts, please feel free to contact us. Our details are all here on this page. And yes, I'd just like to say once again, thank you. Obrigada. Vielen Dank.
This is Mozambique, land of golden sun, land of people